Hello, I'm Bishop Jeff Clements of the Northern Illinois Synod of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. Do you have a favorite hymn? I ask that question of others every once in a while, but I don't like it when someone asks me. You see, I can't offer a simple answer. Instead of just naming a single hymn, I have to explain that I love many, many hymns. And then I offer a short lecture about my innumerable favorites, and making it worse, I then try to categorize those hymns according to musical style, theological background, and the decade or century in which they were written. Still, I ask the question of others expecting a simple answer. Do you have a favorite hymn? So what do you say? What is your favorite hymn? Might it be one associated with a special day? Jesus Christ is risen today. We sing that at Easter. Joy to the world, a Christmas favorite. We sing Beneath the Cross of Jesus during Lent. When I think back, it seems like we sang Holy, Holy, Holy so often when I was a kid that I had it memorized. And that's saying something because I don't memorize easily. Of course, there are many newer hymns the church has embraced and sing with gusto. My wife was a church musician. I have long marveled at her ability to play a hymn on the organ, coordinating her hands and her feet on 2 or 3 manuals and a pedal board, and she sings along. I asked her how she does it. She said something like, "Well, I play the notes and I just know the words." Some people have hymns internalized, just as others have the words of Scripture internalized. They've become a part of who they are through years of repetition. It isn't a matter of memorization as much as it is absorption. I think if there is any single hymn that I have absorbed and is fully internalized, it is I love to tell the story. I really do love to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. And I must tell you that I have felt inadequate to the task many times over the past 4 decades. But I keep on trying. And let me tell you why. During Lent this year, I preached a sermon, and in it, I included a story of an experience that I had on one of our Synod trips to Tanzania. It was an old story. Well, it was an old story to me because it happened a few years ago, and it is a story that I've told before in other places. Following the service, a woman sought me out to thank me for the sermon. She said, "I'm so glad you told us about Tanzania. If you don't tell us the story, we will never know." Wow, did that hit me. If you don't tell the story, we will never know. The words of the hymn, absorbed and internalized as they are, were instantly on my lips. I love to tell the story, for some have never heard the message of salvation from God's own holy word. That's why I keep on trying. As the church, our job is to build relationships between people and Jesus. That's only possible when we tell the stories of how God's love was incarnated in Jesus Christ and was crucified and raised for us and for the sake of the world. My son recently sent us a picture of my 2.5-year-old grandson sitting in a Sunday school classroom with 5 other children and 3 adult leaders. I saw it as a picture of why I do what I do. It's a picture of why the church does what it does. I want my grandchild to know and love Jesus. Together, we raise them and guide them in faith. Tell the story. Just as I've heard, if you don't tell the story, some will never know. I will be singing with you this Easter. We will probably be singing one of my favorites. I hope we get to sing one of yours too. May our celebration of the resurrection of Christ overwhelm you with God's love. Happy Easter to all of you.